So, season 10, Sylvie Brett actually creates a bit of a pet project for herself. You know, what we kind of find at the beginning of season 10 is that ambulances are short, and Violet and Brett are having a hard time actually making it to some really important incidents because of sort of non-emergency calls. And so Brett is trying to come up with a way that she can help the people of Chicago and help the CFD to actually have ambos ready to go by creating her own little private project. So there are a lot of changes coming to Firehouse 51 in season 10. You know, we've been together for such a long time, and everybody just keeps getting promoted and doing all these amazing things. And, you know, as the people in the house mature, there's a lot of transition. So we have Bowden, you know, being presented with the opportunity to become deputy district chief. And obviously we have Stella Kidd, who's on the list to become a lieutenant. And, you know, we also have some characters from the past that are going to pop up that are going to create some really impactful changes for Firehouse 51. So stay tuned for that. Sylvie's had a lot of partners, and the Ambo. And the 61's been a little bit of a swinging door, a little bit of a revolving door. And finally, we have Violet Mikami, played by the wonderful Hanako Greensmith, and she is brilliant. Like, Hanako's come in, she's got such a can-do attitude. She learned everybody's name, like all the cast and crew, like that. And she fits right in, which is such a relief, because it's a big group and it takes a lot to kind of fit in and have the same sick sense of humor that we all have here at Firehouse 51. And I think that she is a very unique character. She's a unique partner in terms of she's like a bit of a brainiac, but she has a really kind of dry, sardonic sense of humor. And, you know, I feel like as people get to know her, they'll realize, like, she's kind of a gore fan. So she's a little bit of a sicko as a paramedic, which is something that we've never explored before, but I think is probably really real. So I think she is going to be really interesting to watch, and people are really going to enjoy her, and she's gorgeous. And, you know, also there's like all of this unexplored material between Violet and Gallo. Obviously, we're going to have to figure that out, and she will talk to me about all of it.
We ended season 9 with the squad, anyway, with Cruz, Cap, Tony, Severide, stuck in a fuselage, if you will, of a boat. So it's overturned, capsized, and we go scuba diving, we go through and get stuck. So we pick up season 10 right where we left off, and the guys are in dire straits and in need of air. So it's kind of par for the course. We always have cliffhangers, like you said, at the end of seasons. And for the most part, it's usually Bowden, Bowden on a walkie saying, report, report. So in that same vein, and so we're hoping that, you know, I think the audience will really enjoy watching it, and we hope the guys get out. There's a lot of changes at Firehouse 51. I wish I could tease more regarding Stella and Severide's relationship, as I don't know. I get scripts as they come, and I go as is, and I try not to pick the brains of the writers, producers too often. But we're in a good place. Like, Stella and Severide have had their ups and downs, peaks and valleys, if you will, and they've kind of leveled out at a really good place. What would be a wrench in the relationship, or just not chemistry, but the house, is that she's pursuing a lieutenant title, and you wouldn't have more than 2 lieutenants at a house. So we kind of delve into that. Bowden himself is offered a new role, and there'll be some changes in life. So we'll see a lot of changes at Firehouse 51.
At the end of the season, there's a boat. It's flipped over. There's 4 guys under there. who I don't care about as much as I care about my guys. And so I'm worried about them. I want them to survive, but a bunch of them are better looking than me. So if they were not, it would be not a better looking Firehouse, but probably a funner Firehouse. Well, I know that there's a bunch of shakeups coming, and there's a shakeup at the end of the season where, like, Casey and Brett were rocking the bed, and that was cool. Glad they finally got that over with. It's always good to get that over with, then you can move on to real life where you can't really stand each other anymore. So let's let that happen, although they'll probably love each other forever. But yeah, Bowden gets pinched and pressed, and it puts a real, like, clangor on the show what's going to happen, because we don't know where our Chief Bowden's going to go, and we'll be kind of lost without him, because he is the barometer and the fixer. He knows the feelings that go on, the pressure that builds, and he knows how to relieve it. Chief Bowden, pressure reliever, and set straighter. Well, Herman's going to probably get into trouble again. There's some, fire business that goes on, and sometimes as bureaucracy attempts to bureaucratically process emergency situations, they screw it up. And sometimes, as we know in the family of Firehouse 51, we have to take things into our own hands. And when there's a little kid's life on the line, then I put it in both hands, and I grab that child and I say, "You people, you bureaucrats, you bureaucrats, eat it."
So at the end of last season, obviously we find Squad 3 in a really perilous situation where we're all on the verge of drowning in this capsized boat with no way out. And we pick right up where we left off in season 10 to see whether or not we all make it out. Obviously, Severide and Kid are engaged, and that's going to involve all sorts of upheaval and crazy romance, which is really why we're here, We deliver the fire both romantically and literally. From the very beginning, there was just this energy about her that felt so akin to who we are as a show, and just she is fully available to be as idiotic as the rest of us. And I think that kind of levity is what sort of brings the chemistry that we have on our show. She's been tremendous. She's been a great addition. I thoroughly enjoy working with her. I love seeing the dynamic between her and Brett. I think that's really been a plus for our show. And, it doesn't hurt to have more young, attractive people on the show. So, welcome, Hanako.
Well, episode 1, we pick up where we left off at the end of season 9 with the boat capsizing, and we have lost Squad under the water, and they have run out of air. So we see Casey go out on the fast boat with whatever oxygen tanks he can find, and he goes out to try and help Squad out of their precarious situation. Cruz comes out. I don't know if I can tease this. I don't know. Something happens. Yeah. And Squad are in trouble, and they need help. So it's a really dicey situation. Casey has a rescue which goes viral because he does this great Tarzan swing off the aerial on a roof, and it goes viral, and all these fire fans start showing up to the firehouse, and he has to take photos with them and be, he's the internet hero. And then through this, someone from Casey's past shows up who he knows very well, and that sends him on a complete different other journey that he never saw coming. Yeah, so he gets promoted. Bowden gets promoted to deputy district chief, which means he's still around at the firehouse, but his office isn't there anymore, and he's off, working with other firehouses and stuff. And it's a great promotion for his character, but then we don't have him around so much, so it's difficult for the house. Everyone's very pleased for him, but it's difficult, not to have Papa Bear up the top there all the time. We have a new addition, Hanako Greensmith. And she is the perfect fit for Ambulance 61. Her and Kara get along great. she's just a fresh energy into the mix, and she's really, really good too, and a lot of fun. So we're loving having her on board.
I think for Violet, you're going to see more of her relationships with Gallo and Ritter, and that's going to be fun. You're going to see a little bit more of what they're like outside of the Firehouse and new endeavors. And you'll get to see a little bit more of her relationship with Brett start to change as well as Brett takes on some new exciting adventures as well. That's going to be fun.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're definitely going to see the three of us. We call ourselves the Three Amigos now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So Gallo, Ritter, and Violet. Yeah, we're excited to see what they do. I'm glad we get to hang out a lot more and we get to see a lot more of our lives outside of who we are in this Firehouse, which is a really exciting thing for us. And then with Gallo, I guess we're going to see him do what he usually does, jump out of windows, just make people freak out,
Take unnecessary risks, yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Although fully necessary.
Sure, yeah.
I can say the side gig is very close to our hearts as amigos.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's something we love to partake in.
Mm-hmm. It's close to firefighters as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's already kind of a rock solid foundation for them to kind of maybe work this side gig. So, yeah, it's very exciting. It's very exciting.
It's been really fun to play around with things outside of fire.
Well, from the beginning of the first episode, we start at a 10 in terms of what the stakes are. And if that's where we start the season, where are we going to go? Because we know this show we don't like to let people settle for too long. So I'm excited to see where this journey takes us.
Don't get comfortable. I think I'm most excited for this season. It's been really fun because we've kind of gotten to know Violet, but obviously now there's just more permanence in that. So we get to see a little bit more of how we get to know her in different realms, like we said, in the side hustle, and what kind of personality and persona she is, and how she kind of supports all of her comrades and all the people around her.
I'm excited to find out what skills you have too, because you.
Rude, I have lots of skills.
No, but I'm
Have you
saying
not seen them yet?
well, I'm saying Violet always seems to be the person that's like, oh yeah, I know a lot about chemistry.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I know a lot about erosive chemicals because of chemistry, and I'm like, and then our side gig,
right.
who knows where that's gonna play a part,
Totally.
and then continuing. I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
with Violet, there's a lot of things we don't know about her yet. That
It's true.
could be really exciting.
Yeah, and in this side also, we're learning more about the three of us together.
Yeah.
Too, what we're good and bad at. To be a series regular, oh, it's been such a dream. I mean, it's been such a luxury because I've been with the show kind of on and off since season 8, so it doesn't feel like I'm diving into a brand new pool. It's like, oh, this is a nice warm jacuzzi. I know everybody. We're hanging out. I love everyone here. So it's just been really nice to have that comfort of knowing you belong and you're here to stay for a little bit. So it's really nice to get to know everyone in that capacity. It's been great. What do you think about that?
Well, honestly, it's been really hard because I was the new guy, and then I'm still learning people's names. There's a lot of people that work here, so I'm still learning and meeting the family. But she's been here. I mean, I guess you're right, in and out. But she knows everybody. Everybody knows her. They ask her about her family. She says, oh, how are your kids? I don't know anyone. So she set the bar really high, and then people look at me and they're like, you don't know my name yet? I met Hanako yesterday, and she's coming to my wedding. And I'm like, wow. So it's been hard to keep up, I have to say.
You do a good job, though. You really do a good job.
I'm really
Everyone
good at-
loves you. You're fine.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
It was harrowing. I'm kind of glad I couldn't see what they were going through under there because I've got a little bit of a claustrophobic drowning fixation. And that setting is not good for me at all. So I'm a poor swimmer. So my chances of helping them were nil. So all I could do was stand on the shoreline and say, hoping for the best here. That's all I had to contribute to it.
I wasn't even there.
Oh.
Fires. I'm most excited about fires. They're going to be bigger, better, hotter.
Hotter.
Definitely hotter. I've experienced hotter fires myself already.
Now,
How about
they
you?
won't necessarily know that at home unless they're
That's
taking note of the increased sweat.
We're
We're doubling down on the sweat.
There's more sweat. It's
And the fire is real. The bullets on PD are fake. The blood on Med is fake. Our fire is real. And therefore the sweat will also be real. That's my promise to our viewers.
If there's one thing we could promise, there'll be more sweat. Chicago Fire is wetter than ever. Hanako Greensmith is here with us now. She is our newest series regular on the show. She's a joy to be around. I have quite a few scenes with her coming up, and I love our dynamic. I love what she brings to our crew.
An utterly delightful human being.
Yeah, and hilarious. She even gives
very
you a run for your money.
Sharp as a tack. She sparkles. I love her and Brett together, and I love the young kids together. Anytime I'm kind of, we're in the common room sometimes, and sometimes it's 4 different scenes, and I'm over here on the couch, and they're at the table and whatever. But anytime I watch the 3 of them interacting, it gives me such hope for the future of our show. And they've got a great comedic dynamic between the 3 of them. And sometimes Brett gets thrown into the mix too, and then I refer to her like I had to walk up upon the 4 of them one time, Hanako, Daniel, Alberto, and Kara. And my line was, young people, I need your advice. And I came up and said, young people, Brett, I need you. She's just a little older than me.
I can attest. That did happen. I was there for that.
It was a doozy. The cliffhanger, I think, did something really different that we hadn't done before. We had one of our big accidents and end of season moments in water, which I think was took us into a whole other place. It reminded me of when I used to watch emergency shows when I was a kid. Water was always involved. But what it did this time is it gave everybody that kind of claustrophobic feel. And they were holding their breath even though they didn't know they were holding their breath while watching it. And that was what was great about ending the season the way it did. And we are going to pick up this season with all of squad with no air. So that's a great place to start the season. And I think it will be as exciting at the beginning of season 10, and they're going to start watching this show and hold their breath immediately. So that's, I know what's coming. I'm not going to tell you guys what's coming, but it's very exciting, and I'm really happy to be doing season 10. The changes that are coming were actually alluded to at the end of season 9. And at the end of season 9, I said to Captain Casey, he was like, well, what is it? And I was like, I don't know yet. And we've started season 10, and I still don't know. No, that's not true. It's going to be drastic for everybody. The whole house will be affected. And that's the best way I can put it without giving too much away. There will be complete upheaval of what everybody thinks they know about Firehouse 51.